This is October 25th, and this is our monthly Board of Library Trustees meeting. I call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is to review and act to approve minutes of the September 20th, 2022 meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Second item is to review and act to approve report of the director's activities of September 2022.
Quick question, guys. Who was the one who seconded to approve minutes?
Oh, that's
Me.
Claire.
Claire.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
That's right. We need to,
Oh, my goodness.
make sure that we
Should give me
slowly.
yeah, notes.
Yeah, okay.
Is that Lisa?
That's Courtney.
Courtney.
She's
I forgot Lisa's.
So I decided to separate the two documents for directors' activities versus programs and services. I was telling Deb, it took me 2.5 years to think that through.
figure that
Why
out.
am I combining it? Because Ellen did. So, but I think this makes more sense.
Yeah, it was helpful to read. Yes,
It was.
Yep.
And we do have a line item for programs and
Yeah.
services. So.
I had a question, if you could tell us a little more about this human library, and publishers, publishing partners, what's that
Sure.
all about?
Sure, I'll tell you. So we are hosting the Human Library on Saturday, November 5th, and everyone is welcome to attend. It might be a good learning experience as readers. So all of anyone who comes in would be a reader, and we have 9 books, and you have to check out a book in the sense that you spend 15 to 20 minutes talking to each person. It's one-on-one, and you would ask them questions. They'll they'll answer as best as they can about their experiences. So the books that we have confirmed are a sick couple, Alzheimer's caregiver, wheelchair user, got it written down, a person who has chronic pain and MS, an immigrant who has navigated the challenges of autism, her kid's autism, an Algerian Muslim immigrant, which is one of your staff from Alhambra. What else do we have? Child
I don't know
of
who
deaf,
it is, just so everyone knows.
child of deaf adults, CODA, and who I'm missing. So it's these are the people, and we will have stations set up in this meeting room for 9 or 10 of those books. And a person who comes and wants to talk to the Alzheimer's caregiver can go and talk to them. It's one-on-one though, they're not talking. It's not like an interview that's, that everyone can hear. It's literally like checking out a book. So the aim of this is, if you have any preconceived notions about any kind of, group of people, this is a good opportunity to talk to an individual and get rid of any prejudices that we might have. That is the purpose of the Human Library. Unjudge someone.
So is the publishing partner?
The publishing partner is me and the library.
Okay, and how were these the books chosen? Have they done it at other libraries?
I did. I reached out to different people, asked them if they would be willing to talk about their experiences.
It's not a book per se.
Oh, I know. Oh.
It's a person.
It's a
Oh,
person.
I understand. I was
okay.
wondering
Oh.
if they, these were people who went to multiple libraries and
No, these
how
are-
they were actually selected.
These are people in our community.
Okay.
So I have attended sessions with the Human Library folks from Copenhagen, and they tell you how this has to be conducted. And you can watch videos on their website too. So then I solicit people, ask them if they're willing to share their experiences. And if they are, then they sign up for an orientation session again with the organization in Copenhagen. And of course, I had to coordinate all of that, the Zoom meeting times, ask these people if they could do this, and then communicate back to them, and then get back to them. So it was a lot of communication, and I think we have a great group of people who are going to be our books. Now we are publicizing this so people can come and experience this, checking out a book who is actually a person.
Priya, is this one in a series of many, or?
No,
Just one?
each time you host this event, you have to apply for it, you have to register. Pay
And
fee
how is the
all that.
seating set up? Like, what's the space going to look like where they're
So
meeting?
what I'm thinking is having 10 tables, right?
Mhm.
10 stations, and just 1 or 2 chairs. So if I'm a book,
Mhm.
there'll be 1 or 2 chairs here. So
Mhm.
maximum of 2 people, if it's a family, can
Right.
come and ask me questions.
Right.
And a volunteer and a librarian, some other librarian and myself will be here, and we'll make sure that you spend 15 to 20 minutes, or depending on the number of people who are interested.
Right.
It can be up to half an hour, up to 30 minutes that you can talk to one book. So you're checking out the book, and this is don't judge a book by its cover is the basic
Right.
premise of this.
Looks great.
And so this group is founded, this movement is in Copenhagen, so
Mhm.
has it been used around the world now?
It is spread around the world, around 87 countries around the world. Libraries, educational institutions, schools and colleges have hosted this.
It's really neat.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
safe
excited for it.
space to,
Exactly.
to.
Well, how do we make it a safe space is the question, I guess, because the folks who are ready to be books are obviously doing this with intentionality. Is there something that the readers are also is there something that's done to make it a safe space, considering that there's people who are coming to just speak with
Yeah,
these people?
so I would have to just oversee the whole
Yeah.
process and hope that everything works out.
Right.
And the books have been trained to answer certain questions, and not if anyone crosses the line, asks something more, they can say, this book is not yet published, this chapter is not yet published, just step like
The next edition, maybe.
Yes.
Wait for
Yeah.
the paperback.
So they have been trained on how to talk.
This is just
Okay.
the edited copy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's nothing that a reader agrees to, like, I agree to engage in respectful dialogue or
No,
anything like that. It's
really,
just
yeah.
like a reader checking out a book that
Yes,
might
a
talk
reader
back
checking
to
out
it.
a book.
They might not
we
like the
hope
book.
they're all polite and respectful.
Is the room-
Is there going to be reserved times, or is it just first come, first served
It's
type
going
of
to be
thing?
first come, first served. I did not make it registration kind of
Mhm.
thing, because if someone walks in and they want to talk to 2 or 3 of the books,
Mhm.
we'll have to see
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll be
Yeah.
manageable.
Yeah.
How does it work if there are like several people that want to speak to a certain book? Do you line up or do you?
Yes, so there will be at least 2 of us here at all times, and we'll monitor that. Maybe they'll have to wait in the hallway and then come in. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really neat.
Okay.
Okay.
Any updates from the Town Center Association meeting? Are they still, they're still planning on the lights on the common and?
Oh, yes,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, any other comments or questions about?
What's the Shrewsbury Way Academy?
Oh, that's a leadership program that the town manager has organized for all the town department heads, and it's being offered as a 15-week program with 1-hour virtual sessions facilitated bi-weekly by John Wortman.
Made it.
Okay.
So this is during the lunch hour, 1 to 2, we have these we have these virtual sessions and different topics like communication tendencies, improving meetings and presentations, leadership style and philosophy, management styles, how to deliver feedback, how to help with effective goal setting, conflict resolution, all that kind of thing.
Good.
Yeah, they've called it Shrewsbury Way. Shrewsbury way of doing things. Shrewsbury Way Academy.
Is the facilitator the same person we
John
had in the
Wortman,
DI?
yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
he's
thought.
done a lot with the town.
Yeah.
Even before
Yeah.
the visioning exercise and strategic planning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if there's no other questions or comments, I think we need to approve our report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next item is program and services that were offered in September 2022.
Excellent choice for the story walk.
Yes.
Fantastic book.
Yeah.
Told from the point of view of a school.
Mhm.
Who's nervous, of course.
What's the band book reading challenges for ages 5 to 12?
So the children's librarians gave the titles that kids could read, and so many books have been challenged even for that age group. Yeah. So,
Charlotte's Web is challenged
yeah, Harry Potter is challenged.
Oh my goodness.
because animals are speaking.
Because animals are speaking.
But
that-
aren't
is that
most
really
children's books, there's animals
Animals
speaking
speaking.
in them.
It was the element of make believe.
It's getting a little
Breathe.
ridiculous.
I have to say, there was the band book display that you had out last month. Most of my favorite books were out.
They were the classics.
Way to read.
Just things you read in school and what have you, but I hear really meaningful books.
Clara, you're so controversial.
That's why she's here.
Take her anywhere.
I think the interesting thing about when they do banned books is that you say to yourself, what's the big deal with this book? What is it
Yeah.
that I'm supposed to be
Yeah.
injecting into?
Yeah.
You know, or whatever. It sort of like brings attention to things that don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. A lot of time and energy placed on things that don't make a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't understand why Charlotte's Web would be banned.
Because the animals speak.
Well, that's nothing new in a children's book, though.
I mean, I don't know if you've thought of that.
Yeah.
I think you're in the majority.
How is the 50-plus job seekers networking group going? Are you still getting participants in that?
I think so.
Okay, good,
Yes,
good.
yeah, it is going on.
Priya, could you describe the Majorina? I'm just curious a little more. It sounds very interesting for kids.
Yeah,
You've done
so.
it, probably, I don't know, maybe half a dozen times over.
Yes, I know you approved the funding for it, right? And I think what it describes here, art program, building workshop. Unfortunately, I don't know anything more than that. I have,
It's down
it's in the children's, I can find out more details next time,
No,
share
I'm just-
that
It
with
sounds
you.
like a great thing.
Yes, yeah. I think it fits into all the STEM categories.
Also coding for kids.
Oh, yeah. That starts with very young
And
kids
they
these
probably
days.
love it.
Yes.
That's great.
Who is Iridium Tutoring?
It's a private company.
Local?
Yes.
It was on the, I'm sorry, I didn't ask then, but I was wondering if you could speak to us about the book shop. I got to visit it and it was really
It's lovely.
fantastic, yeah. The
Downstairs.
bookstore.
the used bookstore.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Friends
sorry.
bookstore.
Friends bookstore. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I think people are hearing about
Yeah.
it, and every day you see someone at least there when the store is open. So it's staffed from 10 to 12 by volunteers. We are going to expand it and open it for more hours in the afternoon. 3 to 5 is the plan. And sometimes people come and ask, oh, we heard about the store, and even if there is no volunteer, so we said, you know, here's a person who wants to buy books. So we take them down, and we have a cash box there installed. So we say, just drop the cash in there. And so it can be open even if there is no volunteer.
When I came, I was gently coerced by Roxanne to,
Oh, me
to spend quite a lot of money
Oh,
there.
She's-
You only need gentle coercion, but it was quite remarkable how she was getting people, because she was right there downstairs,
okay.
right? Like, oh, have you seen the bookstore? Let me take you there.
She's a good
And it's
ambassador.
all her hard work.
It
She
really
put it
is.
together,
She
yeah.
really put it all
That
together.
was fun.
It's so lovely to see that space used as it was originally intended. to
Right,
be
Okay.
used.
right, absolutely.
And is the cash box secure?
It is.
It's attached to the
It
wall.
is attached to the
It's-
wall.
It's locked, okay.
Yes,
Looks pretty.
yeah.
And it makes so much more sense than the book sales for the weekend. It's so much work.
Right,
And this just, it's work, but it's kind of like
It's steady.
extended over time.
right,
Right.
right, yeah.
Priya, is there any way, I know this is would be a lot of work, but if you're doing it anyway, if you're not doing it anyway, I just would be curious as to what the attendance at some of these programs are.
Oh, sure. We do record
Yeah,
all the stats,
yeah,
so I can
yeah,
get it for
yeah.
you. Do you want children's, adult programs?
Well, I like them all, to be honest with
Okay.
you, but it would just, I'd like to, maybe not every time, but I know
Sure.
you're doing so much, I don't want to add
No, that's
to
something
your
we
list, but-
record anyway.
okay.
And we
Each-
used to have that one sheet that at one time Dan compiled it all, but it would say how many circulations in the month of September, how many programs, how many
Oh, we have
attended.
that.
That
So
is,
is it
that
in
is
there?
part
Yeah.
of
Oh,
our.
I didn't see it. I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
It's a different one.
Oh, it's a different, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely bring it.
Okay.
Because it is compiled every month.
Yeah.
I think what's
Oh,
also
I see. I didn't
useful,
see that.
you
I
know,
didn't see
like
that.
not to belabor the point that we see the numbers for everything, but I think it might be a good idea to consider those programs that were really successful and those that were not.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Right.
Just to kind of get, see if there's a trend there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's a good gauge in terms of what the interest is. And
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, any other comments or questions about programs and services from last month?
Just that it was busy.
Yes, it was, and
busy.
very varied,
Definitely.
which is wonderful. Okay, if not, can there be a motion to approve?
I move to approve the director's report for September.
And Joan seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, financial and.
Who seconded this one?
Joan.
I did.
Joan,
Joan,
Thank you.
sorry, I have my back to you, I apologize.
That's okay.
Okay, so next is financial and legislative. Where is the one? There it is.
1 quarter. Completed 1 quarter in the fiscal year. So I think we are doing okay.
And the 100% means that you've,
It's encumbered,
encumbered, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
right, for salaries
Yeah.
and stuff.
What does that mean, that it will be coming?
That you know how much you're going to be spending.
It looks like in professional, what is that? under?
That's,
Is-
yeah,
is-
that's always the CWMARS fee that we pay. That is that,
Oh, that's
yeah.
the CW Mars fee?
Yes,
Why is it called that?
54,000. Oh, why is it called
Yeah.
professional services?
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's why. But still, I would think it would be CW Mars would be more,
I mean, this is
Clear.
the, you know, Munis town
Yeah, okay.
designated
Yeah.
thing, and we put it under that.
okay,
It's the CW Mars fee.
okay. I think you've said that before, I apologize
No
for.
worries.
Looks good.
Yeah.
And special town meeting approved the transfer of,
Yes, I don't think
Never
it's
needed.
reflected yet
Yeah.
on Munis, it'll take a while, but it was approved.
Okay. Any other questions about the year-to-date report?
Looks good.
Okay. Well, I move to approve the year-to-date report as submitted.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next is to approve the FY24 action plan.
So there's not too many changes from the current action plan of fiscal year 23. Just the, I think, one or two places where we've said, in the fiscal year 23 action plan, it says, create a maker space, and 24 action plan, maintain the maker space. So hopefully it'll progress the way we are envisioning it. And we are already doing a lot of maker-related programs,
Yeah.
children's STEM programs and all that.
I had a question about the, goal 1B, objective C, it was the collaborate with local public and private schools. So it says maintain ongoing communication with schools and educators. Somebody had asked about that on Saturday about working with schools and things like that. Like I know that there's some work with supplying, books of a certain topic if they're doing a project or whatever. But how much are we able to collaborate and support each other, given that the Shrewsbury Public School elementary schools don't each have their
Media
own like
specialists.
certified
Yes.
librarian? There's only one for the whole.
Right, so Sanya communicates with the media specialist for the elementary
Okay.
schools, and Annie Lee communicates with the middle school and high school, I think, media specialists.
Right.
So, actually she goes to the schools once a month, gives out the flyers, to
Once a
promote
month?
our programs.
Oh,
Yes.
excellent.
Yeah, and then we post everything, information about most of our programs in community bulletins
Right.
that goes to parents. We communicate with the administrators beginning of the school year, and yeah,
And sometimes the librarians go to talk to classrooms, don't they? About like here's how to get a
Yes.
library card and
yes, they do.
things like that.
Yeah.
Somebody asked a question and I didn't know. Is there a librarian at the high school?
There is.
Yes.
And is there a librarian at the middle school?
There was
I think there is.
Or is there a library aide?
I think there is a librarian.
I think-
a librarian or not a librarian? That doesn't sound
They
like a
can,
librarian.
they can be both, but not always.
So there's one media specialist, I believe, for all 5 elementary schools, and each school has a media aide who
Oh.
implements the media specialist lesson plan. So it's how it filters
Okay.
down. So
But
Is
the
there one
only-
Yeah,
for
it's
the
just-
middle schools as well?
Each of the
there was a certified librarian at Sherwood when my kids were there, and she retired. So I think that's a full position, but it's always on the border when we have budget cuts. So it's like the first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
shame. So I guess I was curious how we can support them, in addition to promoting our programs, just because
Right.
there are certified librarians
Right, and
here.
we definitely try to ask them that, beginning of the school year.
So sad.
Good. I know. We're the education state. It's a shame. My other other note about the children's is that the displays at the bottom of the stairs have been so nice. Really lovely,
Yes.
the changing thematic.
Yes, yes. And the other areas in the children's room
Right.
too,
And
because now
the-
there's so much space to do displays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Books facing forward
Really
makes a lot
nice.
of difference.
It does.
So,
Yeah.
something I've noticed.
And the adult one too, near the
Yeah.
new books.
Yes.
People
Mhm.
always
Mhm.
comment on that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, so we need to vote on this as well. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Motion to approve, it's Nancy.
Second, April.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to facility, equipment, and grounds.
Did I add the director evaluation form?
You
Oh,
did,
that is
yeah.
under
Did.
personnel,
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Facility, there's nothing new.
Nothing,
Facility.
okay. Have the new you ordered new shelves or
No,
not yet?
I asked for a quote from the person,
Okay.
the company. I haven't yet
Okay.
heard back from them.
Okay, this is for the
Friends
bookstore. Yeah,
Friends
right.
bookstore,
Yeah.
Okay.
additional shelf.
okay, but nothing else.
No.
Right. How about anything under gifts and grants?
Did I already mention about the gift we got for the Memory Cafe? I don't know if I mentioned it at the Friends Board meeting. I did at the Friends Board meeting. We got a $5,000 gift for the Memory Cafe, and the family wishes to be anonymous.
Oh, my
Um,
goodness.
and
$5,000?
$5,000, and it was in honor of a couple that used to attend our Memory Cafe and who passed away this past year.
That's great.
Very, very generous of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Lovely.
wonderful. Wow.
Because we didn't get the Greater Worcester.
That's
did
right.
not.
That's
Yes.
right, so that's
Yeah,
very helpful.
absolutely. We got $2,000 from the Turkey Trot Committee,
Mhm.
and we've gotten $5,000 now. So
Nice.
we can, it'll be good for 2023.
Wonderful,
great.
wonderful. And what's the total, is it a $5,000 or $10,000
This is-
annual?
Oh, the
Cost,
expense
yeah.
For English Conversation Circle and Memory Cafe is 10,000.
It's 10, okay.
Yeah, so 5,000
For
will
each,
cover
okay.
the Memory Cafe.
Wonderful.
That's great.
All right, moving on to personnel. You have an announcement to make?
Oh, yes. Purnima just messaged me saying she can't hear us. Can
Oh.
you hear us now?
Yeah, in the middle there was a small little phase where I couldn't hear you guys when you were talking about, the finance and legislative. But that's okay. I think I got what I needed.
Okay, thank you.
You have to talk louder.
No, I think you guys froze.
Oh,
okay.
It
Yeah, it did
rebooted,
some of
yeah.
them, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have a new principal department assistant, Peter Arsenault. He couldn't be here today. They couldn't be here today, but we're delighted to have them join us. This person used to work on Sundays at the library, so we are familiar with them, and they've come from Webster Library, where Webster is a smaller library where every librarian does, everything. So they're experienced with different things, including newness. So it's a great addition to our team, knowledge of newness and understanding about libraries. That makes a huge
Okay.
difference.
Great.
So.
And is he taking over the accounting and?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, yeah, just the title has been changed to
Okay,
Principal
great.
Department Assistant.
Got
And
it.
so it will be in addition to accounting, bookkeeping, we can,
Yes.
expect them to do.
And I'll
more
just
stuff.
comment that he was very well liked by staff,
Yes,
so that's
In a known
important.
quantity.
Yes.
yes,
Great.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah,
Will he also be scheduling, making the schedule?
yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Great.
yeah.
So you have
It's
some
important to
time
be
to
liked.
Yes, and it has been pretty seamless since they
Great.
started.
That's great.
Good, good. Okay, and also, I guess there's 2 new Sunday
Yes, 2 new
librarians?
Sunday librarians that we've hired. Brandy Litt, who is local and has experience with elementary school science teaching, I think. But she's also very, very, she loves books. I mean, she was so enthusiastic at the interview talking about books and how she loves the library. And the other person is Vincent Pellegrino, a young person who will again be a great addition to our team. Yeah, I already received an email from a patron who mentioned Sunday staff by name and said they were wonderful in their customer service and
That's great.
please
Nice.
share this
Excellent.
email with
That's
them,
nice.
kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was good.
Good,
Yeah, we have a great staff.
good. Okay, and lastly, we worked on this a little bit last month, is just to review the director's evaluation form. And again, thank you to all who contributed to that, mainly to April, who reworked it a few
Teamwork.
times.
Yeah.
So, thank you. But if we could look at that again and just see if there's anything that feels uncomfortable or needs to be changed. I think it flows a lot better now.
Mm.
And it might bear repeating who is actually going to participate in this evaluation form.
It's just the managers.
Just the
manager.
library managers.
Just the manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many managers do we have?
4.
Would it make sense to make it optional for other people, or does it get unwieldy, or?
I think we discussed
How many-
it
how
and
many
we said
staff do
we'll
we have?
start 40.
Wow. Okay.
We'll start.
Let's start with the
Let's start with a
40's a
4
lot.
and then and see how
Sounds
that
good.
goes, and then we can.
Sounds good.
And maybe we want to have a different one for, I don't know, but that's my thought
It's a good start.
anyway. Yeah, start that way.
Well, I guess I'm going to assume the directors meet with the various staff members, and so they would have an opportunity to collect comments.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I have one suggestion. I feel like the form states that it is a director evaluation form, but there are a couple of questions in there that are centered around climate and environment of the library. And while the director is closely tied to the environment of the library, I think that in the opening statement of this form, maybe there should be something that says that the form is also, seeking input around the work environment. Just because when you look at the form and you see that it's about the director, seeing the questions around the environment kind of offset what the title of the form itself was.
So that would be item 7 specifically,
Well, there's
because everything else refers to the director.
in what ways could the work environment improve, and then 8 other comments regarding the director and or workplace. And this is always tricky because I feel like people in leadership roles are sometimes seen synonymous to a work environment, whereas a work environment is the sum total of everyone working
Right.
there, and not just the director. The director could be facilitating or setting the tone, so that may be something that the team wants to think about, placing the questions around work environment. Are we pointedly saying that those workplace questions pertain to the director's role in that, or are they standalone questions?
So 7 could read something like, in what ways could the director help improve the work environment?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, because you're right, it is meant for the,
Yeah, like you kind of want the person who's filling the form to understand that this is about the director's role in facilitating a good work environment, and
Right.
not just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I don't like my coworker, and therefore.
okay, I have it up, so I'm just doing it.
The director help improve the,
Help improve the work environment, and then I think 8 is maybe okay.
It also
as-
becomes a
Yes.
reflective question, because if folks have an issue with the workplace, asking a question like that, like what can the director do to improve, kind of lets the person be reflective about, is this really something that the director
Right.
can
Mhm.
improve, and like where
Right. Exactly, yeah. That's good.
You know what, maybe in light of that, we could even just eliminate question 8, just, I don't know.
I mean,
if
question
we-
8 was just saying, question 8 was giving you the option of saying something positive, whereas question 7 is kind of working with an absence of, like, an improvement, right? So 7th is kind of starting with this premise that if there's something to be improved, what is
What
it?
is it?
Or maybe we could combine them in some
Yes.
ways.
The nice thing about 8 though is that it's like, anything else we didn't ask you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
That's right.
anything.
Yeah.
It does give somebody
Yeah.
the opportunity. Yeah, I would leave it.
So
at
in
first.
question 7 then, if we just say, in what ways could the director
Help
improve the work?
Help improve
the
improve
work
the work
environment.
environment?
Yeah.
Or in what
I
ways,
like-
if any?
If any.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
In what ways, if any, could the director help improve the work
Everything's
environment?
Right,
Yeah,
I like help improve because it's not all on.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
I thought there wasn't any question related to, like, I think an effective leader is a good communicator, and there wasn't anything about communication skills. So I thought you could put something in like, is the director an effective communicator between individuals, departments, and the community at large, or something like that?
I think we should think about who's filling this out and what they're aware of.
Right.
Because we're filling out evaluations also. This was to help fill in our,
That's a good point.
Do you think question 3 answers that? I feel that the director is accessible.
Yeah, maybe.
At least to a degree.
Rather than the other, it leaves it, it's broader, so people could agree, disagree, or have a comment.
Or even just something about communication within the library, within the work environment. Just something to consider. That was just one of my thoughts. Maybe not with the community at large.
I think to Lisa's point, question 1 is doing the reverse of that. It's saying if the managers feel like they're heard. If you flip that, is the director understood?
Yeah.
Which means, is there clear communication from the director to the managers? Would that be like where you're leading this in terms of communication? Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, I just,
Mm.
exactly. Yeah, just something to consider it.
Both 1 and 3 sort of get to the same thing. but not- yeah.
I just think that communications skills are so important when you're in that role.
I mean, I do think it's a separate thing than like to me, like, feeling heard is kind of a deeper level, you know, like, communicating is like that you
Mhm.
tell people what's coming up
Right.
and what,
Right.
you know, what's expected of them and that
Mhm.
kind of thing. We have to be careful about adding, like, if we add to a question, we're asking for the agree, disagree, so I think before we had like too many
Right.
elements in one question.
If you add a question on communication, I don't think that angle can be placed on this because these are slightly differently nuanced. So I think it would be an additional question if it were to happen, and if it would be, do you feel the director has an effective communication style? That's it. Obviously, the managers are filling it. So my guess would be that if the managers are filling the form, they're considering the director's communication with them, which would be on point.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, they can't be, I think, give an accurate evaluation of how the director's communication is with everyone.
Right.
So, I mean, that I don't see that question as being tagged on. I do think if we wanted it, it should be a separate
Right.
one.
Well, do you want to add that then? Under, maybe make that question 4 and then rework the other numbers.
Is the director an effective communicator?
Hmm.
Yes, so we can move that up after and put it between 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's
Question 3.5. Do you feel the director has an effective communication style, or do you feel the director is an effective communicator?
Or do
like
you
the
feel
first
that the
one.
director uses effective communication strategies?
I'd take away strategies and leave the rest. I think.
It should be a statement, I think, because
Right.
you're saying
I
agree or
feel-
disagree.
Right.
Yeah. I feel
Right.
the director
I feel-
uses effective communication.
Right. That's good.
Or effectively communicates. Something like that.
Communicates effectively. Everyone's
That's what
together.
happens at the board of trustees
know.
of the library.
We ask people what they think.
Wordsmithing
When you
away.
ask a 9-word people.
The simplest one is usually the best.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
agree.
absolutely.
Okay, I feel the director communicates effectively.
Yep.
That's
Good.
good.
Beautiful.
So we're
Okay.
Okay.
we're making 9. So there'll be
Correct.
9 questions.
Correct.
Yes.
So is this something that people feel comfortable with as it is now, or is this something that we should bring back for next meeting to review once again?
I'm okay with it.
I think
Fine
it's
with
fine, I think we're
I
getting
think
so
we go
picky.
with it. It's
It'll
not, there
get
isn't 10
Yeah.
or 12 questions
Yeah.
to tweak.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
think-
comprehensive.
It'll be a month in between. I think we
Yeah.
should just.
I think we should try
Let
it,
it-
and then if
Yeah,
it's,
we can always rework it.
doesn't work.
Yep.
next year.
Yeah.
Okay, good, thank you
If
all.
there's these
Thank you.
shortcomings, we can always
Thank you,
adjust it
Nora,
next
for
year.
your keen eyes. Really, thank you.
Always.
Okay, moving on to the Shrewsbury Public Library Foundation.
All right, I'm going to speak to that, if you don't mind.
down in business.
So the foundation is finally moving forward with having a meeting, a presentation to potential helpers, if you will, with the foundation. We call them ambassadors. And so a meeting is being scheduled for November 17th, which is a Thursday at 6:30. There are invitations going out to about, I don't know, 40, 45
through
people.
40, yeah.
I got it yesterday.
Me too.
Pardon me?
I got it yesterday.
Oh, you did get it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's nice. Oh, thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So, all right, excellent. Did everyone on the board get a letter from, excellent.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
figured everybody, yeah, okay.
All
I
right.
responded, but I
So,
did get it.
so the foundation would like as many trustees as possible to attend as a show of solidarity and support of what the foundation is trying to achieve, which is build an endowment. And so this is not a meeting to ask people for money. That's not what it's about. It's a meeting to ask influencers, if you will, in the community, to help, give us advice, give us suggestions as a way that we can move forward and really start to build an endowment for the future of the library. So that's the whole point of the event. So I hope as many of you as possible can attend. And we'll just have some light refreshments, a couple of introductions. We would love our trustee chair to say a few words.
Oh, okay.
If you can, just that, yay, go team.
I can say that.
And that would be great. And likewise, we're hoping the Friends will also have some presence as well, because we're all in this together, right?
Right, yes.
So that is what's on the that's what's on the agenda right now, and then at some point, shortly hereafter, we'll do our annual appeal, as we did last year, end of year. You know, as we all get inundated with those requests for end of year contributions, so that will be next. But right now, it's taken a long time to get to this point, so we're very happy to be there.
Mhm.
So
Excellent.
so anyway, thank you in
Okay.
advance for your
Sure, that's a
support
great
and
idea.
attendance.
Great idea.
Okay, and what date is that? It's the 17th?
It's November
17th.
17th
Okay,
Thursday.
at 6:30.
at 6:30. Okay, great. All right. Next item is any updates regarding the Friends of the Library?
The annual meeting of the Friends Board happened end of September. We had a great speaker, Beverly Beckham. I think some of you attended that. And our next meeting will be in November, the first week of November. And I already gave an update about the bookstore. So that is it.
How many members are there in the Friends?
In the board or
Just in
members?
general.
Members are about 150 to 175.
Jeff could comment on that,
Yeah.
I think.
I think it's more like 200 by the
Yeah.
end of
About
the year.
200, yeah.
Yeah. I wish there were more.
Yeah.
It seems like a small number, given the
Yes.
enthusiasm in
Yes.
the community for the
Right.
library.
Yes.
Is there any way we could do some kind of membership drive, or?
We
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
Remember, just
Um,
before COVID, we were about to
yes, we
have
were.
a membership drive.
Yeah,
We could pick
Yeah.
up that subject again.
yeah, yeah.
I can't remember if I sent in money this
Oh, Mark will remind you.
He will.
Yes, year. I haven't heard from him, so maybe. Yeah.
You can join via PayPal online, so it's
It's so
very easy.
dangerously easy.
Very easy.
It's really easy.
Yeah.
I don't use PayPal, so I could go back and look at my checkbook and see.
You could do, yeah.
But I think a membership drive is a great idea.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking was, publishing or just listing people who agree to it, their names who are members, just to kind of generate interest.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a member. He's
Yeah.
a member. I should be a member too.
Right, that's a good idea. It's
Maybe
like a
post it
campaign.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There could be a sign, there's the coat rack with the bags downstairs.
Yes.
There could be a sign somewhere in the bookstore that says, "Are you a friend?"
Yeah. Oh, there is.
You could just.
No,
Okay.
we have very
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
bookmarks and all
Yeah.
that
Okay.
now.
Easy.
And the children's staff have started promoting it a lot too,
Yeah.
because we
Excellent, 'cause
want
they're right
young
there.
families
Yes.
to know about this.
Yeah.
about
I'm just
this.
thinking maybe we have some talent in this community on marketing. And remember Coins for Construction?
Yes.
And how
Yeah.
successful
Oh,
that
right.
was when
Yeah.
the building, and I think you really want the kids and the families
Yeah.
really, engaged.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with Coins for Construction,
That was
she
a
was
great
wonderful.
idea.
I think
But I
that
mean,
was
you
Lisa.
have some talent in the
Wasn't it
community.
Lisa?
Huh?
I did a lot of work on that, yeah.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
There's somebody helping too.
I had a lot of helpers,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that was very effective.
That was great, yeah, the kids
And
are
I
so
feel very,
enthusiastic.
very visible, and I think that would be kind of exciting.
Yeah.
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 You can have the thermometer.
Yeah.
We had a great
Yeah.
graphic designer help us
Mhm.
with the
Make
design.
that little.
That was the little
box thing.
coaster
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
box,
Yeah.
yeah. That was very helpful
Yeah.
with the kids.
I
Yeah.
think that was for like a very tangible thing,
Exactly.
though, separate from, like we're trying to build this thing and we need to fund it. I think it might get a little confusing for kids of like, why are we giving money at the library where it's free Do you know, like, what are we giving the money for? So you can have the STEM program, like, it's like confusing, I don't
You have
know.
to say what the Friends were sponsoring.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
that if you become a member of the Friends, you're helping to promote
Yeah.
this kind of activity or
Right.
something like
Yeah.
that.
yeah, something like tangible.
Yeah,
And then
that's,
you could, do we have a little suggestion box for the Friends? Things they'd like to see?
We used to.
There is a suggestion box, but it's not just for the friends, right? Isn't there a?
no, there isn't
Oh, I
a
thought there
suggestion
was.
box.
I thought
They
there
used
was.
to be, I think, a
definitely
long
get
time
that.
ago.
Yeah.
One of
Just-
the things that we could do that is not very popular, but I do it for the art museum,
Yeah.
is to have a little table where you're here on a Saturday or Sunday and ask, and a member's, you know, a friend's desk,
Yeah.
and encourage people to join.
Yeah.
But you have to be, I mean, I can do it because I do it for the museum all the time. But I mean, I think especially if there's a program or something going on, it would be nice to say, you know, the Friends have helped supported this, would you like to support the Friends? And maybe you get some people, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that the staff is promoting it
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I think that will,
Yeah,
the
I
more they
think-
hear it, the
Yeah.
more,
right, and I think children's programs are the
Yeah.
best
yeah, yeah.
venue for that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was watching on Saturday as I looked out the window and I couldn't believe how many kids and their parents were coming in,
Mm.
which is great.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, well, anything we can do to help the friends. Okay, moving on to policies.
Yeah, I did not add this to the agenda and I didn't send it with your packet, but I would like to change or revise our telescope borrowing policy. Now, we had the telescope before the Library of Things started. This was one of the first things that we had. So there the policy states that the telescope can be checked out for 21 days. And it says Shrewsbury Public Library card holders. So now we want to add it as part of the Library of Things collection and have the same policy for that. So if it is under Library of Things, it wouldn't have a separate policy. It would be the same. And we had discussed this just last month or a couple months ago, opening it up to any patron above the age of 18 or over who has a library card in good standing. So we are not restricting it to Shrewsbury Library card holders, and the loan would be for a week instead of 3 weeks.
Is it something that's popular? Do a lot of people take it out?
It goes out to, I mean, maybe average once in 2 months or something, when there is
Something happening.
something,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that people want to watch.
Mm.
So I think it makes sense to have it for
Sure.
a week instead of 3 weeks.
Mm.
Yes.
That would be
Yeah,
in line
I
with
agree.
everything else in the library.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, yes. Yeah.
So the separate policy for the telescope, would that be obsolete?
So we won't have the separate we do
Right.
have a separate policy
Right,
now.
but that will go away.
We'll come, yes, that will go away, and the telescope will be included in the Library of Things. We do have some specific instructions how to use the telescope. That will just be, with the telescope itself, a sheet of paper. So the liability waiver and all that will be the same as the Library of Things.
Makes sense. Do you need to have a vote on that?
Yes.
So I make a motion to include our telescope in the Library of Things with the same stipulations as other items in that Library of Things.
Thank you.
Second
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Did you get all of that, Purnima?
Who seconded it? I heard Nancy first.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Lisa, thank you.
Okay. Under miscellaneous, we have an update on the strategic planning process, which is underway.
Yeah, and I shared the flow chart with all of you. So the facilitator has had meetings with the public advisory team, public advisory group. She's facilitated meetings with the staff. She's done SOAR exercises. We divided the staff into 2 groups and had those sessions on 2 Friday mornings. And then the representatives from the boards she had a meeting with them. She's following up with emails to everyone. I don't know if you all received it,
Yeah.
or you did receive it. Okay. Questionnaire.
Survey.
Send it back.
Okay, great. And the next step is a survey. I've got the initial draft that I've given to her, and we'll be going over that. And we're hoping to launch the survey on November 15th, and it will be out for people to complete till December 20th. It will be online, and there will be print copies in the library, at the town hall, and different places. We are not going to mail it with the newsletter. I was thinking about that, but instead we'll just have the QR code and the link to the online survey that people can see. And
Save paper.
yes, I remember we did it last time, and it did not really generate that many responses. People are more likely to fill it in when they are here in person. Otherwise, the online thing, of course, we'll publish it in various ways.
And the reminder that she sent out was helpful too, because I had looked at it and forgotten, and then I got a reminder, so I then did it, so that was helpful.
So that's the next step, survey, and then I'm also planning to have translations of the survey in Spanish and Mandarin. We've got 2 volunteers from the community who are willing to do it for free.
Great.
So they are going to translate the questions, and then they'll translate the responses too.
That's great.
So, and then January we'll have focus groups, so one thing at a time.
Okay, good. And the next item is just a request for approval for local author George, how do you pronounce
I'm
his
not sure how his last name is pronounced.
George.
Yeah. It's a children's book that he's published called Shad, Hadid and the Alchemists of Alexandria. Apparently great reviews for that book, and he's coming tomorrow. So,
Good.
It's a children's
to
book.
approve
Children's
sale of
book.
books.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That was Jeff.
That
Who
was
seconded it?
Jeff.
Thank you.
And I do have another item of
Oh, good, yeah.
miscellaneous. I guess it bears mentioning that some of us attended the Mass Library Trustees Association annual meeting, which was Saturday. I thought it was a great meeting.
I did too.
And we had someone from the Amherst Libraries director, Dr. Martin Garner. He couldn't be with us in person, bless his heart, but I thought he did an amazing job doing all of our breakout sessions via Zoom. And then we had author Stephen Macaulay, who was very entertaining.
We laughed a lot.
Very entertaining. That was great. But I wanted to mention that in the past, this board has had a board membership with the Mass Library Trustees Association. We currently are not members.
Oh.
I asked their membership person to check, and she said, no, you're not. So I do have the form here for us. It's $100 a year to have our entire board be members of MLTA. So I would make a motion that we have membership in MLTA for the coming year.
Do we have funds for that, or is that something that we would pay
State aid.
individually?
Could we use state aid?
We could use state aid for
State
that.
aid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that
Do it.
case.
Let's do it.
It's a very worthwhile
Yes,
Yeah,
that program
organization.
was excellent.
So I'm gonna pass it around, because they do ask for the board
Mhm.
members, each board member's name and address and email.
Okay.
So I'll pass it around to you
Okay.
all, and then give it to you, I guess, Priya,
Sure.
for you to
One of the things that I think he mentioned was to look at our policies about
reconsideration.
Reconsideration.
We have that
Do
as
we
part
have-
of our collection development
Oh,
policy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can share it again with you
That- I think that
if
would
you,
be a-
if you
a
want to
good
take a look. And we review it every year because it's very
Because
important.
I don't know it, and so I thought it would be helpful, should we ever be in a position where somebody approaches us,
Mhm.
we can say, well, we have a policy and this is.
Right.
The
Yeah,
policies
I'll
are
share
all
that
also,
with you.
also on the website, so it's
Yeah.
very, all the policies are lit on the
That's true.
website, so it's
It's
very
part of it.
transparent, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the collection development
Yeah.
policy.
Yeah.
Do you
Maybe
wanna
talk
put that
about-
on the agenda for next month?
Mm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's a timely
Yeah,
subject.
just to review it. and-
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
freedom of expression, know your policies, including content, internet, policies, meeting rooms, code of conduct, privacy policy. So all those things are to just, be reminded that
Yeah.
Well,
you
one
have
of
to
the
look
things-
at them once in a while.
Yeah, one of the things that came to mind, and it is the whole teenage,
Mhm.
young adult room, and all the issues we had with that, and thinking, oh gee, I don't even know.
Well, and the capacity of the building and.
Appropriate
Right.
behavior
Appropriate
policy.
Appropriate
Behavior.
behavior,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
what does that mean? Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a policy.
I know,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking,
Yes,
it's good to,
sure.
The other thing, just, thank you, Nancy, for mentioning all this, but the other thing that actually Priya and I were talking about is the importance of expressing staff, appreciation to staff.
Yes.
I wrote that down
Support.
too.
Support
Yes.
and appreciation,
Yeah.
and, the holiday time is coming up. We are not limited by COVID restrictions, so, in the past, we've had different holiday type of treats and, a brunch or
Breakfast.
something like that. I think we need to think about that again.
for the December
Yeah,
staff meeting. we could do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
yeah,
And we had also talked about some fun activity,
Yeah.
like team building activity,
Yeah. Talked
mini
about
golf,
Mini golf,
mini golf,
yeah.
because it was very successful. The
Mhm.
CMLA had it here, so that's one
Yeah.
thing. And I'm doing an informal polling of staff to see what they'd be interested in,
good,
and
Good.
I'll let
good,
you know.
okay,
I did get the quote from the mini golf person
Yeah.
and shared it with
Yeah.
Deb.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
very
reasonable,
reasonable.
very reasonable.
And
When's the
Expense.
December staff meeting?
I mean, we have staff meetings every Friday.
Okay, every Friday.
Yeah.
So I think one Friday where we have just coffee and pastries or whatever, to say
Sure.
thank you, and then go on to some other activity.
Yeah,
would
the
be-
Yeah.
activity might work better in the evening
Yeah.
after the library is
Yeah.
closed.
That's true.
But we'll see.
We'll see,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we'll see what the response is. Okay.
I used to like it when we did the breakfast because I met some of the staff that
I
I
know,
never saw.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah, opportunity for them to meet the
And
trustees.
we did start doing that around Valentine's Day,
Oh,
because things were very busy in December.
we could do it.
And so we did a couple of
In
years.
January.
We
Maybe
did
that's better
February,
when
we
things are
did
kinda-
near Valentine's Day and had a breakfast and, just an informal kind of thing. So that's another possibility.
Yeah, so maybe people could kind of think about different ideas, and we can talk about it more.
At our
Yeah.
next
And
meeting.
It would
by
be
then
nice if
maybe
we
you'll have
did.
some general
Sure.
sense and
Yeah.
kind of put our heads together
Mhm.
next month.
But yeah,
That's
like a couple
okay.
times a year, it might be nice even
Yeah.
just to have a smaller,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
one event after the library closes
Yeah.
and, but having just some
Something
smaller,
else.
you
Yeah.
know,
To not
kind of a
lose sight
reminder.
of that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't done anything in the last 2 years
Right.
because of
Right.
COVID restrictions.
Right.
Right.
We better do something wild and crazy then.
Yeah.
Make up for that.
Make up for lost.
Right.
I just have one request from a volunteer. They want to do a candy drive for military troops after
Oh, after Halloween?
Halloween, November
please.
1st through 15th. Bin to keep in the library and ask people to donate candy, and they will take care of it. They'll send it to the troops apparently. This is a seventh grader who came and asked,
Oh,
and she
great.
and her dad was with her, and
I think it's a great idea.
Me too.
okay, so I do need the approval.
Oh, okay.
Move
So
to
you want-
approve the sale of, I'm sorry, collection of candy.
You
I was so
That's
relieved
good
to get it out of my house.
Yeah, that's
I know people like to get rid of it
I'll get
after
to
Halloween.
Halloween and what's left, I'll bring right to the library.
I second that. All those in favor?
Thank you.
Aye.
Okay,
Um,
so I think that's it.
I have a quick question in regards to the policies that came up on Saturday. Who is our legal counsel?
Town has a legal
The town, so
counsel.
it's for the town?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it.
If we have any issues, we would talk to them.
Okay.
Okay. So a couple of things for next month is, one is the policy, just review that,
Yeah.
and the other is staff appreciation, so
Sure.
I'll make a note of that.
Okay.
Okay, and our next meeting is scheduled for November 22nd, and our last meeting of the year is December 22nd. Oh, December 20th. Okay. So, anybody have anything else to say for tonight, or can we end the meeting for now? Tonight. All set?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.